And what do we got? Okay, hold on 1 second, you guys. Let me just get myself together. Okay, now who do we have on the line? Who's calling?
This is John Podesta, the former chief of staff to Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. How you doing, sir?
I'm all right. What brings you to the to ABL Live? What's going on?
Oh, I was in this meeting, kind of a martini meeting with Dan Rather, and I kind of got tired of hearing somebody besides myself lie every 2 minutes, so I just made an excuse that I had to go outside for a phone call and just dialed a random number. Who is this?
Oh, you're calling the show where we talk about real news. We are against people that you are for, I suppose, like Hillary Clinton. Weren't you her campaign manager when all the email stuff was going on? Did you know about that? What's going on?
Yeah, I guess those emails which are fake and that Russia stole from me, but they're not mine. Yeah, those are the ones. Yeah.
So if they stole them from you, how are they fake? I don't understand. Like, how can you steal a thing that's not real, that doesn't exist?
No, I keep fake stuff around here all the time. I worked for fake candidates, so I mean, what's the problem? I don't understand what the question is.
So you just create fake stuff. So how do we know that your former employer Hillary Clinton did not get fake stuff from you and give it to us, the public? How do we know what's real and what's fake?
The Miss Clinton, she kind of operates on a kind of different platform that you guys wouldn't understand. You see, we came up with a whole system where we basically, the country is almost like a host, and we are like, I guess, there's certain organisms. I don't know what we would call them. I mean, a tapeworm would be an example. And we basically feed off of their stupidity. You have to meet some of these people that are willing to vote for us. I mean, they actually think that we support organized labor, even though we basically are, we basically have made in China stamped on our rear ends. So
basically like a parasite in DC, a DC parasite.
No, I mean, parasite is kind of a loaded term. I like to think of it as, we're just franchisers of Beijing and Saudi Arabia. It's a business, bro. I mean, you gotta understand it. Dan Rather understood it until we got like 5 shots of whiskey into him, and he's kind of gone off the rocker. It's actually pretty loud in there. I might actually drive off to Sonic and get a milkshake. But any more questions about that? I mean, I was gonna say, since you're a news show, I did want to talk a little about, Urban Meyer of the Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm a little disappointed that he might be forced out for knowing about domestic violence and on his coaching staff. It's a little weird because somebody like that in our organization, he'd probably get a promotion for knowing about domestic violence. I mean, I used to work for somebody who threw a lamp at her husband, and she ended up reforming the healthcare system until everybody rejected her ideas.
I mean, that is very true, but, we could talk about Hillary Clinton and Urban Meyer, but don't you have some skeletons in your closet that are starting to leak out? Because I'm hearing your name get brought up in this whole Me Too situation. I'm hearing you mentioned with people like James Gunn and everything else. Is there anything you want to confess tonight that you may have done inappropriately with some underage kids? I'm not really sure what's going on.
Listen, those are salacious allegations, and I happen to, by the way, I want to give a shout out to Little Caesars, though. That's my Little Caesars perfectly encompasses what I think, the type of brand I want. So all of that stuff is kind of salacious allegations. When I saw James Gunn last time, I could not think of a nicer guy. He covered my restaurant tab, and I was watching him. I had to leave early, but he was just happy as a clam while he was feasting on a child or whatever it was.
Oh man, that's not good, man. I mean, you need to report that to the police, man. If something's going on like that, if James Gunn is out here, doing something crazy like that, man, you got to go to the authorities.
Listen, you think of the police in a different way than I do. You know, most people think if their kitten is caught up in a tree, you call like the police and firefighters. I think of it if a kitten is on its way home from work and gets shot in Washington D.C. after leaking a lot of documents to WikiLeaks, I call the police and they make up kind of a story to tell people that it was a complete robbery, even though the kitten's wallet and watch were still found on it.
Oh, so is that a Seth Rich confession live on air?
I mean, who's ridiculous enough to call their kitten Seth Rich? I mean, what are you, crazy? What are you, some sort of lunatic, bro?
Hey, man, I'm just saying the facts of the case pretty much fit with Seth Rich, so I'm just adding 2 and 2 and getting 4.
I believe, Seth Rich, I'm assuming at the DNC they didn't have a litter box for him. So, I mean, there's no correlation between the two, sir.
Hey, man, I think I beg to differ. I think people that are watching it may think a little bit differently as well. So I don't know, man.
Well, anyway, I think, I'm going to go back to I have to type in a memo for LeBron James to read tomorrow on his interview with Max Kellerman or whatever the hell he's doing tomorrow. So I want to say a shout out to my brother Tony. You know, I want him to be stronger than Tommy Robinson when he goes into prison. You know, in our circle of friends, when you come out of prison, at least you convert to Islam or you become a homosexual.
Wow, that's pretty serious, man. Pretty drastic. So, I thank you for the call. You know, hey, if the feds come knocking, just answer the door and go politely.
I mean, they're right here. They've been listening to us the entire time. Peter Straka, he actually told me to call this number in order to get away from Dan Rather.
Hey, I don't doubt it, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it.
All right, have a great evening.
All right, now same to you.
Bye.
All right, shout out to Podesta. Hey, he's right about the feds just being right there, you know, not doing anything to these people that are in the DC swamp, just letting stuff go on. So yeah, that really was John Podesta. It was not a prank call. It was him for real. But I'm gonna get to my next call.